Welcome to the Home Education with Ease podcast. I'm your host, Christine Furman, a homeschool mom, entrepreneur, and educator with over 20 years of experience in the areas of elementary and special education. It's my mission to help you create lifelong learners and embrace a holistic approach to education at home. I'll be sharing practical strategies, inspiration, and resources to support your family. Whether you're a stay-at-home mom, a business owner, or balancing work and homeschool, you're in the right place to connect with a community that values education just as much as you do. Join us each week as we ditch the stress, embrace the joy of learning, and set your family up for a lifetime of success. Hey friend, welcome back to the Home Education with Ease podcast. I am so glad that you are here joining us today. I am Christine Furman, your home education expert. And today I have a guest joining me and I am so excited to introduce you to her. She has been on the show before, but today we are talking about our latest anthology that is coming out on September 4th, Course Corrected. So with me today, I have Marta Sauret-Greca. And we're going to talk, she is a business leader, and we're going to talk all about our book process, writing our book, how it's been different than the other anthologies that we wrote, and hearing her big aha moment throughout her journey. Welcome, Marta.
Hi. I just want you all to know that as we're recording this episode, I am fighting for my life. There is a singular spider who has decided to join us and transcend down. So as Christine is doing my intro, you see me looking to the corner because I'm like, don't you come any closer. So, take a sip of your coffee every time you see me look to the corner because I'm just keeping an eye on that guy.
Oh my. See, guys, this is real life. This is mom life. This is all the things happening, behind the scenes, because this is what we do, right?
I might need to get up and run. No, I am Marta Sauret-Greca. The proudest thing that I have going on in my life is that I have 7 kids. I'm very proud to be their mom. I am a financial rep for families, and I do help them account for every dollar and grow it and protect it. And then I also have a content creation business.
And I love that. Marta and I have worked together so closely for many years now, actually. Marta has been a big part of my journey and just love watching all of the new things unfold for you. And I love being a part of the anthologies that you put together. So the first one that you put together was actually just last year. So this actually has been my 3rd anthology in 1 year, because the last one that Powerful Synergy, we both have it. Well, yours is, you can see yours. You can't see mine in my back, but I have it back there. But that was released around September last year, right?
Was yes.
Yes.
No, yeah, that was October. And actually we shifted the timelines this year because it was like right by Halloween, and
that's right.
Us moms were, there was a lot going on. So we're like, okay, let's do this a couple months earlier.
Right. That's absolutely right. Because we were doing some parties and book launch and photo shoots, and there was trunk or treats and different events.
Exactly.
And
in fact, that very night, my in-laws took my kids to their school's trunk or treat, for which I was on the committee to plan. And I was like, oops, there's a book launch happening. So that was one of the only times that I think I experienced a little bit of mom guilt because I really wanted to be there with them at the school. But it worked out. It was great.
I love that. And that was the first one we did. And then I did another anthology. And then this was the 3rd one. And it was like, boom, boom, boom. Let's write these, chapters. And it was such a blessing to be able to do it because I've seen such transformation through each of these stories. So can you speak a little bit about your journey as you've gone through different anthologies and books? Because you wrote a book before that.
Yeah.
And then you wrote these 2 anthologies. Have you written any others or been a contributing author?
No. This one here that Christine is also in, and you can order it right now on Amazon, Powerful Synergy, is I meant to write the story that I'm sharing in this coming anthology. I meant to write the story about, losing my mom and how that transpired and how that divulged into me becoming a financial rep. But as it was, I had blocked off this whole month before having my 7th baby I'm going to write this chapter. And then, of course, God has other plans. Baby has other plans. He came a month early. And it was a very traumatic experience. And so I had that's all I could think about. And so that's what I wrote about in this book. Okay, guys, the spider is going back up. He got the memo. I keep giving him like a side eye. We're safe. We did it. And honestly, that's part of, I think, the writing style of the books that I like to share, the story I like to share, is there's even humor in moments that are the darkest moments of your life. And I do think that laughter will get you through anything. I mean, even whenever we're sometimes in a heated argument with my husband, I mean, it happens, guys, right? In marriage, it doesn't happen often, but when it does happen, it's a tactic that we use on each other. Like, we're like, what are we doing right now? And we just like, are we having this? What's happening? Where did this even begin? And, just to not deflect and not to get away from the seriousness and not to be in that moment, but using humor to lighten your own mood. And I find that I utilize that when I'm writing a story about, almost dying and being gaslit by the medical system. And same with, losing my mom and what happened there. And in my first book, let's see if the yoga has been paying off. I could reach there very easily. And I don't know if this is going to be mirrored or not, but it is The Minimalist Method, the Emerging Entrepreneur's Guide to Peace and Prosperity. I like to just inject humor into everything.
Which I read that book, and that was transforming as well.
Thank you.
Yes, lots of great tips and tricks for a family. I think a lot of families are going back to that simplistic kind of life, right? I hope, right? A lot of people in my space, I'm a homeschool mom.
Yes.
You're a homeschool mom, so
Yes.
A lot of families are like, I want to embrace this simplistic life. We don't need to be on call 24/7. We're not doctors, we're not saving lives. And I've even heard people saying they're going to go back to landlines. And I was like, I think I'm here for that,
Yes. Because the only reason we got a cell phone for my 13-year-old was because, he's old enough to be home alone, but we don't want him to not have a form of communication.
Exactly.
But now it's such an issue because it is such an addictive device.
Yes.
And so, but I'm realizing that you can actually go back and get flip phones. When I was ordering a phone for my dad recently, and I was like, we might need to switch out all the teenagers' phones into flip phones.
Yes. And I have seen that too, where people are like, you know what, I'm just going to get a basic phone and I'm going to get a camera and I'm going to get a GPS and we're going to go back to what was this device created for?
To talk, to connect. And now it's like, why are you calling me right now? Is somebody dying? My other teenage son was calling him at work and he's like, I thought you guys were all dying or something. He was calling me. And I'm like, what?
Yep. It's so true. Even me yesterday, I was talking to my husband and I got a phone call and I was like, whoa, why are they calling me? Even I have gotten into that, like, don't call me. Like, even I picked up the phone.
Give me a head start.
Let me know where you're going to have a conversation.
Yeah.
But even yesterday, I picked up the call and, there's so many spam calls coming out all the time, right?
Yeah.
And it was the area code where we're at. And I picked up the phone just waiting for it to be like an automated, thing. And I was like, hello. And she was like, hi, this is so-and-so from the doctor's office. And I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, well, I need to talk to you, actually.
Right.
Remember when I posted that meme? It was like, but by all means, if it can be a text, do not call me.
Yes.
But it's so interesting because now, and they've even changed the regulations and they've gotten even more stringent this year. My clients have to call me. I used to say, at least you can text me your questions and then I'll call you because I can't text about this stuff. But now it's like, I have to tell my clients, if you have a question about your investments, either email me because that's a secure platform or call me. Do not text me. Do not PM me, which is so hard for me because my whole previous business model was around, I didn't have to get on a phone call. I didn't have to go anywhere. But it's gotten me very comfortable with it. Now I'm like, oh, can we just jump on a call? Now I'm doing it to other people. And they're like, whoa, I just met you. You want to have on a phone call?
It's so true. Well, that's good to know. As a client of Marta's, now I will be calling her.
But you can email me. That's a secure platform.
She says, please email me. Do not call me.
You can call me. But I know it's easier sometimes to be like, hey, it's 2 a.m. I was thinking about this. Yeah.
Right. No, I'm such a voice memo person. Like that is like like my form of communication because I'm like, I want to talk to people,
Yes.
but I'm busy, right? To be on the phone for an hour, that's hard sometimes.
Right.
you
Right.
know?
And it's like to find a moment to actually connect. So I accidentally sent you a Bible yesterday because I thought I was doing a voice memo and it was voice text. I was like, well, that's what happened.
Well, it was perfect. I read through it and I was like, oh yeah, okay. This was a longer message, but it worked, because that's what happens, technology and we just shift,
Yes.
and that's, I think, a lot of what in this book even, right? It was all about course correcting. It was about how we take these moments in life and how we've shifted with those moments. And I know for me, I was asking my assistant to proofread it. And I said, what do you think? I said, is it too much up and down? And she's like, your journey is not linear. She's like, it is up and down.
Yes.
And
that's what's beautiful about it.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I definitely had moments in my business where I was like, that's it. I made it. And then it all came crashing down, which is what I write about in this next coming book. And you try to like piece it together and you're like, did I manifest this? Did I make this happen? Did I self-sabotage? Did I, or is this a destined divine path?
Yes.
And it's the destined divine path. I know that there's a lot of methodology that talks about like, oh, well, don't say this because you could block it. Don't think that because you could block it. And I do actually do that very annoyingly sometimes to people because I find that the way that you talk to yourself really helps your internal energy from a mindset standpoint. But I do believe that there is a destined path for you and you didn't do anything to ruin your life. Maybe you did, but it's going to be okay as long as you get back up. Right. And sometimes that was just your destined path. And I don't also subscribe to you have to suffer in order to XYZ. I don't believe that suffering is necessary, but I do believe that if suffering happens, that it can be utilized for your own growth and for lessons and what am I learning here? What can I take from this? So
Absolutely. Yeah. I believe that definitely. And there's been so many things I've been doing. I went to a parent conference, which was kind of a crazy story, right? Dan and I went, we were late to church. We sat in the the atrium area. So it was a more casual setting. And the pastor that was going to be presenting this parents conference, he was preaching that day, right? So we're sitting there and he's talking about how this conference is this afternoon. And this lady sat down beside us and she gets up at the end and she says, are you guys going to the parent conference? And we're like, we didn't really plan on it, but there was no reason that we weren't or we weren't, neither one. And she's like, well, I'd like to sponsor you and I'd like for you guys to go. Now, guys, it wasn't even an expensive event. Like we could have totally made that happen. It was like, we just didn't make that decision. Right. Yeah. And she's like, I'd like to sponsor you. Here's some cash. You guys, should
That's
go
amazing.
I know.
And then were you like, well, were you in the parking lot and you witnessed something? Because that would be my reaction. I'd be like, I'm so sorry.
No, nothing like that. We did get out of the car. We were late, but we were like, whatever,
nothing that.
No,
I'm totally kidding.
No, I know, but it's so true though. I mean, there definitely have been times in my life, right, as we were late for events and it's like, hurry up. Yeah. We're late, and just everyone's frustrated. We get in the car. No one's talking, and you're supposed to be going to church where everyone's,
Yes. Oh, I remember when I used to do family photo shoots, I could totally feel that energy when people would get out of the car. And I've even had families request reshoots because they felt like their energy was just off. Like they didn't like their pictures because they fought the whole way to be perfectly dressed, to be on time, to have matching outfits, and we would have moments where like the parents who had just had a baby, they're clearly sleep deprived and bickering with each other. So I think even back then I would be like trying to coach them through it. And it's like, stay in your lane, Marta. But no, you're absolutely right. And I love that. So you guys went to the parent.
So we went. And one of the things that you were talking about earlier is laughter, right? And that was one of the things that he talked about was like, laughing with your kids is like their safe space, allowing them to know that, you're allowed to be who you are,
Right.
and speaking that life into them where, talking about, talking them up and sharing those prophetic words. He kept saying that, and I was like, what exactly would that look like, And it's just telling them just all the amazing things that you see in them,
Mhm.
and that, it just talks about all of that. We're not having our faith, keeping our faith for sure. But yeah, there are going to be roadblocks. There are going to be trials and tribulations. But are we learning from those moments? And what are we doing? Are we picking up those pieces? How are we, shifting and taking
Yeah.
a different path, or, staying on that path, but learning, that take that information that we learned and move forward. I
Yeah.
know I've had to do that many times, like, what, this isn't working. Why is this not working?
Mhm.
And pivot and then
Mhm.
just keep going,
Yeah, it's something I think about because my oldest, who's turning 18 in just about a month, and my youngest, who's a year old, and he's being
Wow.
fussy. If you hear, he's got plenty of people up there to take care of him, but he's being fussy. I can hear him. They have a totally different mom because of the amount of growth and investing of my time and energy in parenting and knowing the divine truth, as opposed to just I was in total survival mode with my first. But I'm also rereading my one of my all-time favorite books. It's Not Your Money by Tosha Silver. And there is a whole chapter about the meditations that you do with your inner child, and the fact that there's a big emphasis on allowing your inner child to feel heard. Like, there's all the time in the world for them to feel heard, and they're important, and they are valued, they are seen. And so then I'm trying to carry that into, having 7 children, and how many times have I spread so thin, and they come up and they're like, Mommy, I just swim in the 6 feet. And I'm like, just trying to like keep the baby alive, and so finding that balance between, okay, I need you to respect that I'm having a conversation right now with an adult, or respect the fact that I'm in the middle of this, but also, yes, tell me about how this baseball card that you found is worth $1,000, and the Lego set that you absolutely have to have, that we've already talked about 20 million times. Please tell me about it again.
Right. Yes. Watch this again, again and again,
Yeah. And I
Yes.
want to, and I'm like, yes, this is what I'm here for. This is the biggest opportunity that God could have possibly given me.
Yes.
To be
But
here for you.
Exactly. But it's also that, we have a lot of things on our plate. And how are we dividing our energy and our time,
Right.
and, making sure that they feel like a priority, but they also have that respect. They also know, I feel like my kids know, like, if I'm in here, I'm working, right?
Right.
And it's not a guilty kind of a thing. Like, this is mommy's job,
Yeah.
Mommy. They don't even call me mommy anymore,
I
guys.
know.
Like, it's mom now.
That's why I keep having them. Our very dear close friend, she's like, no more. You cannot have an 8th baby. You almost died with the last one. Let's be reasonable.
Yes, please. But it's such a blessing, truly.
Yeah.
And your kids are amazing. So
yeah, so were yours. They're such special
thank
little
you.
children. Yeah, no, I love it, and it is absolutely finding that balance. And then, though, not having that mom guilt when you need that time to yourself. So, Christine, we are recording this episode at 8 a.m. I have a confession to make, because once I'm done with the calls this morning, we're going to do a swap. I'm going to head to the lake with my 2 teenagers, and we're just going to have a day at the lake where I'm not saving anybody's lives. I'm not grabbing into anybody's mouth to pull out sand. I am not, I'm just sitting, listening to the waves crash, my feet in the sand, reading a book, and then, if I have service, I'll get some work done. But and that is needed for moms. It's like, I do believe that if you can swing it once a month, spend a day by yourself. And even if that does mean that you have the laptop open and you're just getting some work done, but a day by yourself without anybody needing anything from you, and take a vacation once a year by yourself if you can swing it, if you would enjoy it, where again, nothing and no one needs anything from you, just to rewrite that, or I'm sorry, not rewrite, but recalibrate that nervous system.
Absolutely. And I know that's something that has helped me drastically is, getting up in the morning about, sometimes it's 2 hours, sometimes it's an hour, it just
Yeah.
depends. And I sit down and I do my devotions and
Yeah.
my workout, and then I go for a walk by myself, right?
Yeah.
And the other day, everyone was like, "I'll come with you, Mom." And I was like, "Is this Spider back?"
Oh my gosh, yeah, he's just hanging there, just like, get the memo, you're not welcome here. And then there's a fly flying through. I'm like, please don't jump for that fly. Just stay where you are.
So guys, if you're just listening, you're going to have to see the video at some point because
I just keep looking up.
and I could tell right away that
like
the
right
spider
there.
was back.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, because
so
Matisse does that too. I'll leave for the gym 4 times a night, and that's my me time. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. It's the sauna experience, and there's these different yoga classes that I can take, and they have them 24/7. So whatever time Michael comes home from work, I've been home with the kids all day till about 8:30 p.m. on most days, and I'm like, bye. And
yeah.
Matisse cries the big crocodile tears, especially if it's storming outside like it was last night. It was like, please don't leave me. And you have to, it's that like, oh my gosh, I want to stay here and cuddle with you. But I also know that if I take this time to myself, I will be a much better mom to you. And I'm adding years to my life because I'm going to detox my body. I'm adding muscle, strength, which is all important once you become a certain age, because that muscle starts to deteriorate at 40 years old unless you're working it. So that's really what it's about.
Yes, absolutely. And that was it. That was the morning that everyone came. I was like, this is not enjoyable, right? And it was like, not that I don't want to be with you, because that's not it.
No.
But it was like, I'm going to go for my walks in the morning, and then I will pick everyone up and we will take the dogs and we will all go for a walk then.
Yes, it's a totally different
I need
experience.
my walk time. I need my quiet time where maybe I am responding to messages or maybe I'm doing nothing.
I'm telling you what, I don't know where it just went.
I definitely saw it come straight down. You better look on your shirt.
We're just going to pretend that didn't happen. We're going to gaslight myself and say that did not just happen. You're making it up in your mind.
All right, I was, yes. I'm going to go back and watch the replay though, guys. About 20 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
All right. So let's wrap up before Marta gets eaten by a spider. But Marta, please just share your experience a little bit more about what you want to share with the listeners about your story in the book. Yeah. What would make them want to get their hands on this book?
Yeah. So I personally cannot wait to read everybody's stories. I genuinely asked women who I knew our missions, our values, and our energies, our positive energies aligned, so that it would be a book filled with wisdom. And it is stories of trials and tribulations turned into passion and purpose. And every chapter is going to be how this person went through this. And then it actually turned out to be this beautiful transformation and that's what it says on the actual cover of the book. It's not a pivot, it's your path. And you will cry happy tears. You will say, oh my gosh, I get it. It's gonna be the kind of book that you're like, you have to read this, and you're gonna pass it along to all your friends. And it's a quick read. They're always quick reads. Typically they're about, it'll maybe take you max 90 minutes. It'll be on a Sunday, unplug, pull out the book. You're gonna feel so good. And by the way, that same day, September 4th, we want you to be looking out on Christine's social media, my social media. Just look for my name, Marta Sauret-Greca, on any platform that you're on. I'll be talking about the book, and you can find out the link that day that you can order it. Please help us to reach bestseller, because the book, all proceeds go to Treasure House Fashions, which is a nonprofit that helps women in need in those moments of crisis, which are the very moments we talk about in the book. Yes. So what a full circle moment. And then that night, if you're local to the Pittsburgh area, we are actually hosting, we're gonna just act as if we're going to reach bestseller that moment, and we're going to celebrate bestseller that night at Treasure House Fashions. It's going to be an invigorating panel discussion between all of the authors about life. All of life's deep questions, like, what is the meaning of life? We won't actually ask that particular question, but it's around that energy of it is you guys are going to feel so enlightened. You're going to be sipping yummy wine, eating delectable foods, mingling with such a high vibe tribe, and there's an exclusive shopping experience within the shop. All of my clothes, I would say 90%, well, now I have brand sponsorships on my content creation side between other providers of beautiful clothing, but a lot of my clothes are from Treasure House Fashions because you can find beautiful, even new with tag designer brand names.
Yes, it's absolutely amazing. And I can't wait to see all of the renovations, all of the updated. It's been a while since I've been there. So I'm very excited to come, and it's just going to be a wonderful time. So we'll be in town for sure. Those of you that know, I'm in Georgia, but I come to Pittsburgh like I go to the grocery store. So as often as I can. But yes, definitely all of the links for our social medias will be here in the show notes below. So follow Marta, follow myself, stay tuned for all of the info about the book. And then on September 4th, be on the lookout for the Amazon link to purchase the book, to leave a review. And I want you guys also to be on the lookout too, because that week it's Marta's birthday and then my birthday.
That's right.
That's right.
Yay!
So it's like our birthday week.
Celebration.
That's right. So it'll be so exciting to be able to, and then come to the book launch party. You know, we're going to celebrate. It's going to be a great night. And we just love to have you guys there if you're in the Pittsburgh area. And if you're not, come join us.
Yeah.
But yes, we're very excited. So any last words, any final things for our listeners, Marta?
Don't take yourself too seriously. Don't take anything too seriously. Quite frankly, life is here to be enjoyed and to walk his path and say your prayers every night. God, what is that path you want me to walk, and show me the way?
Yes, absolutely. I'll leave with this final word. I remember one of my podcast coaches, she shared with me, and she said in the morning, like on an alarm, and in my 5 o'clock alarm, it says, "What is your plan for my day today, Lord?"
Yes.
And it was like, that's it. It's like, what is the plan? Because just follow his path. So Marta, I love that. Such a great final word.
Yeah.
Anything to add?
That's it.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so very much for joining us today. Be sure to join the Home Education with Ease Facebook group and share some of these moments in your life that have transformed your life, right? What is a path that you were on that you were like, oh my goodness, this particular moment changed that whole path for me. And now I'm walking on this road, or this situation happened because of this moment. So I would love to know that. Share that in the Home Education with Ease Facebook group, and definitely follow Marta and myself and look out for that Amazon link on September 4th. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great day. Bye. Thank you for tuning in to the Home Education with Ease podcast. I hope today's episode left you feeling empowered and ready to take the next steps on your home education journey. Your support means the world to me. Please subscribe, leave a review, and share with a friend. For even more resources, be sure to join the free Facebook group, Home Education with Ease, and visit eduplaylearning.com to explore our programs and subscription kits. You can find the links and any other links mentioned in this episode in the show notes below. Remember, you're not alone. This community is here to support you every step of the way.